Welcome everyone to episode 56 of the Video Game Book Club. I'm Tabimura, and today I am joined by Shaishen, Nakuso, Tailman, Mr. McMahon-Meat, and Genji. Say hello, everyone.
Oh, what's up?
Hello,
Zai.
This time around, we are going to be focusing on Baldur's Gate 3. This game was nominated by Genji, and it was selected on the Wheel of Mystery with a 1 out of 57 chance, or 1.7 chance of winning. I don't know how the frick you did that, Genji. I still don't know how you did that to this day, but you definitely paid that wheel.
A lot of money.
Dang.
Lots of bribes.
It's rigged. So, Baldur's Gate 3 was developed and published by Larian Studios and was originally released on August 3rd, 2023 for PC. On the Baldur's Gate 3 official website, it reads, quote, "Gather your party and return to the Forgotten Realms in a tale of fellowship and betrayal, sacrifice and survival, and the lure of absolute power. Mysterious abilities are awakening inside you, drawn from a mind flayer parasite planted in your brain. Resist and turn darkness against itself, or embrace corruption and become ultimate evil." But that's how the website describes the game. How would everyone here describe the game? And the order of presenting will be just Shaishen, because he's literally the only person here, and eventually other people. Nakuso, Tailman, Tabimura, Mr. McMahon-Meat, and then Genji. And please be advised, there may be spoilers ahead. With that said, let's get started. Question 1. Describe the game in one sentence.
All right. I would describe Baldur's Gate 3 as an online D&D experience to do whatever you want and do who you want.
Dang.
without a dungeon master stressing over which pizza to get for the next 10 hours.
Oh, one sentence? This is one sentence. Just pretend this is a
Very long sentence.
Baldur's Gate 3 is a critical success story after so many critical failures in recent times. From the choices of banging a bear or killing everyone to face-sitting on the drow. There is a little fetish for everyone in this game. The battles, choices, and characters all feel special enough to tell yourself, just one more hour.
Wow.
Next.
Beautiful.
This game is karma incarnate. What you do now affects you later. What goes around comes around. Keep that in mind. That's it.
Nice. Baldur's Gate 3 is about a game in which the gate truly is balding. Next.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Baldur's Gate 3 is the first dating simulator to win Game of the Year, I think. Next.
Shit. Okay. One sentence. Baldur's Gate 3 is a love letter to quality video game development, in which all the other game developers go, shit, we actually have to release good stuff because we haven't been doing that. Dating sim, action game, do whatever the fuck you want simulator that
Hell
leaves
yeah.
you questioning, where is Vlakith? Give
Donde
me Vlakith.
está Vlakith?
Donde está, I can't speak Spanish, Vlakith.
All right. Aki. All right. Question 2. What platform did you play the game on? How many hours approximately did you take to finish the game, or finish your playthroughs of the game, and briefly describe your playstyle towards the game?
Platform. So I played on my PC.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really do anything else. Just PC. And then hours and what I think my first playthrough was 90 hours.
Dang.
So that was a pretty I did 2 playthroughs. 2.5 with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So first one I did good. Second one I did good with more stuff. And then your guys's are evil. That's just
What?
And then I'm doing my third one. So I mean, each one of those have been, I think, like 100 hours each.
So how much total playtime you
Or
think you have in the
probably
game?
Oh, actually, maybe 70 hours, and then the other 30 with you guys. So I
Holy
think I've
crap.
here, let me open it up. Like I've total 200.
About 200 hours total.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, so you really dove deep into the game.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, it was really bad. It was really bad for a while.
All right.
Pretty good, yeah.
What about play style? How did you play?
Play style. So I mean, there's so much classes because I just went each playthrough. First playthrough, I went through like 3 classes, and then I stuck with a ranger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. My first playthrough was a warlock. So I just stick with a warlock, and then second playthrough I went with paladin, just slashing everybody. And then with you guys, I did monk.
I played the game mostly in multiplayer with Tubby Mora, Shaishin, and Tailman.
Yeah.
And that was around 134 hours that we played through that game.
Oh my
I
goodness.
feel like how long the beat, like the full time is less than that. But for some reason, we didn't do a lot of Act 1. Act 2, we did a decent amount, a majority. But Act 3, we didn't do like as much. And I don't know how we got to. Oh, wait. I know how I got there. I forgot I played single player. My bad.
Wow.
My bad.
Throwing us under the bus.
Yeah, all right, let's
All right,
count it.
actually,
right.
subtract like 25 hours from that. So, around 110 hours.
There you go. That sounds more reasonable.
That's still bad, but anyway.
Wow.
God dang.
Yeah, well, I mean, we did the majority, of course, as a group. We all made choices. Some choices may have been right
Yeah.
or wrong.
Uh-huh.
But you know what?
Uh-huh.
It's
Yeah, well,
okay.
yeah.
In the end, this is our story.
This is the sports story.
I did in single player. I did actually a majority of Act 1 just to see how it was. Because I know you told me, Tubby, to try it out, just to see the differences. And yeah, it's a big difference when you play with like the whole party.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more conversations with the characters that you come across. You could take your time a bit more. You could explore a bit more. You could check if there's any weird seams in the rocks. And I can say they hid the seams.
They hid the seams. Very clean.
And lastly, Paladin Warlock is my multiplayer focus. And I played a Sorcerer single player.
Beautiful.
Next.
Okay, so first thing is first. I've only played this game exclusively online with Tubby and Noxo and Shy at the time. Never played this game by myself, so anything I'm saying is just basically from online only experience. So
I knew
my
it.
play style
You ruined it for him.
basically- Yeah. And so what's it called? Play style. I played as the bard. I was just trying to focus on healing others and trying to get laid in the game.
Nice.
So that was pretty much it. I'm a bard, so I figured I had to fit the stereotype of bards, where if whatever the problem they can overcome, screw it. So yeah. Next.
How many hours?
Oh, how many hours?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Let me check my Steam real quick, which you can check on my. Let's get.
In the link in the description box below.
Thanks to my what's it called? My sponsor, Shark.
Raid Shadow
Shark-
Legends.
Raid
Raid
Shadow. I'm
Let's
trying
see
to
a
find
VPN. Surfshark.
Yeah. That's the one I've been seeing lately. So that's
That's the hot new ticket item.
yeah. I
Okay.
played 62 hours.
Wow.
62.8 hours.
Wow. Okay.
hmm
I respect.
Wait, that's just with you guys. All right, that's cool. Online. I didn't play any offline single player.
If you guys
I
are
might
wondering
do
why the
one day.
discrepancy is so high between Noxo and Tailman's, is also because Tailman had a lot of stuff going on
Yeah,
in December.
yeah. Well, trying to. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened. Real life stuff that just kept me from being able to play during the play sessions. So there was quite a few sessions where I wasn't there, and so they controlled my character for me.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think you guys told me I ended up getting with Squid Boy before he.
Yeah, we made you do the squid. Every pixel
Oh, man.
burned into our eyes. We can never forget.
I was there. Damn, I would have had a blast.
All right, cool.
But yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was my experience.
All right.
Playstyle and all that. Yeah,
So I played the game on Steam with the boys, streamed it from beginning to end. And yeah, also reached Act 3 on a separate solo playthrough. And overall, clocked in at about 190 hours. So I enjoyed playing the melee classes like the barbarian and fighter. My strategy, hit them as hard as possible with the biggest weapon possible, works quite well. And eventually towards the end game though, as Nakuso and Tailman know, I abused the crap out of that spear, the Nairulna spear, explosive thunder damage when thrown, and it always comes back to you. That is OP. Thank you, McMahon Meat, for letting us know about that. Because without that spear, we would not have gotten through some of those situations. That was a crutch. That spear carried us in a lot of fights.
Especially when we had to damage an enemy for a certain amount of turns or something. That's when the spear really came in handy. We're like, oh,
I think we would still be at Raphael without that spear. So thank you.
Oh God,
for letting us know
that spear didn't work.
In our group playthrough, we did a mixture of side quests and main quests, but towards Act 3, we were running out of time. Donde está Vlaakith? So we hard focused on main quests because we were just running out of time. And in my solo playthrough, though, I did manage to do all the main quests and side quests all the way through Act 2. So I pretty much experienced all that the game had to offer through Act 2. And like Naxo was saying, the game is very, very different in a single player and multiplayer sense. And in fact, I would say to really experience the game, I would highly recommend doing single player just to really get a grasp for everything. And multiplayer was amazing and it was a great time. But again, single player allows you to really dive deep into everything and really look at the butt crack seams of all the characters. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. That's mine. What about you, Mr. McMahon Meat?
All right. So I played Baldur's Gate 3 on both PC and Steam Deck. Each playthrough took me about 60 to 70 hours or 80. And right now I'm sitting on 200 plus hours. I've done a few playthroughs, and each experience was different from the next. I've done single player runs. I've done a multiplayer run. The multiplayer run, we're almost done. Never finished it, but we're getting there. I played the good guy, the bad guy, neutral, indecisive guy, the guy that does whatever he wants.
What the heck is that? No.
I've both saved and ruled over Baldur's Gate. The classes I played were Paladin, Fighter, Sorcerer, and my favorite was the Palacteric. I made that up. I just combined a bunch of the words. But it was a multi-class of a level 2 Paladin, level 7 Warlock, level 2 Fighter, and a level 1 Cleric.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
A lot of classes, yeah.
It was very OP. I love it. My favorite story path was the Dark Urge Redemption arc because of how different the story and the choices are from the normal playthroughs. That's about it from me. Next.
So I played my first playthrough single player on PlayStation 5. I played through as I think it was the High Half Elf or something like that. It's been a while since I've done that playthrough. Clocked in about 60 hours. I tried to do bits and pieces from Act 1, 2, and 3. I ran through with the best character in the game, Shadowheart. And then also Karlach. I did a mixture of mirth, but then when I discovered boss fights were too difficult, I attempted to talk my way through them to have them kill themselves. Shout out to the surgeon in Act 2, where I made his sexy nurses. I cut him to death. That was quite an experience. I have been doing other playthroughs of the game. I've done one where I play as a melee build, and I've done all the stuff in Act 1, such as countering two giant creatures having sex in a barn, which I promptly interrupted.
I remember that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Certified Hood classic.
I don't care if there's banging going on in that barn. I will come a knocking. And yeah,
Oh, okay.
I did one playthrough where I killed the Strange Ox, and then I reloaded that and proceeded to save the Strange Ox because he is quite frankly the best non-main character in the game. Absolutely love him to pieces. But yeah, no, so it was an absolute blast playing through his different characters and builds and that. And yeah, so I think that's everything. I did try to do a playthrough with my partner, but that was on version 1.04, and the game kept hard crashing in co-op and single player through the same console, but they've patched that, and we've not tried to go back playing it because Spider-Man 2. So,
Dang.
next.
Unlucky. All right. Question 3. What are 2 things you like about the game? And we will be alternating for this one.
Only 2? No, I'm just kidding. So I think the first thing I really liked about this game is how the game barely says no to you. And what I mean by that is when I said about my sentence where you can do whatever you want, that you could basically do whatever you want. What I mean, like, barely says no is, I mean, you can't just like break the game and just do random stuff. But the amount of paths and the tree that you can go throughout your whole entire story changes so much from playthrough to playthrough. It kind of blows my mind on how much stuff they added. Like, if I wanted to help these guys and then kill them, you could do that. Or help these guys and then help them kill someone else and then kill them. You can do that. I mean, of course, the game like would lock you out considering the limitations of, you know, a video game is, but the amount of stuff you could just do, like, it doesn't even have to be story wise. You can mess with these people, go to jail, mess with them again, and then kill everybody. You can do that, or you can go the opposite route. You can steal this, or you can grab this, or you can buy this. Depending on who you want to be in the game caters to how you want your story, or caters to how your story is going to go.
The meme. This is your story.
Yeah, this is my story. That's the craziest. Yeah, that's the most insane thing I've ever, like, just, okay, I'm going to segue from that question to the next question after this one. What next?
Okay.
One thing I liked about the game is really, I can't stress this enough. This is like probably the first, like one of the few games I played in multiplayer that it feels totally different in single player. And I respect that. You know, like a lot of games, man, you played in the past, like all co-op games, you know, like Borderlands, for example, or any other 4-player like shooters or whatever kind of games, like Trine. You know, they're great, right? But usually when you get the same experience in multiplayer and single player, I would say for this game, it's enough to have the single player and multiplayer be different.
Yes.
Having your companions, being able to explore more, you know, take your time to like read some lore here and there, which I actually did, you know, sometimes during my single playthrough just to see, you know, what was up in that area if I was interested.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of these things you can't do a multiplayer, but the more people you have, kind of the less focus you have, like doing that story mission, unless everyone is like super on board, you know, and everything. However, and it's like, of course, you know, you're talking, buying clothes with the boys.
Man, that underwear looked cute.
seeing dwarves thicker than
God dang.
anything I ever seen. Get distracted. It's great. So it's like so much fun. You know, you could interrupt someone's conversation and just kill that NPC if you wanted.
Yeah, that's like the first thing we did when we saw that mind flare.
Yep.
Oh, that was
Tony
funny.
whipped out the weapon.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. That never
Killed it
happened.
straight up. Not mind flare, that brain thingy. The
So
brain
it's like
thingy.
it's just so many great experiences from multiplayer to single player, and just like having more of an intimate thing when you're playing alone or when you're just playing with everyone else, just seeing what stupid things you can combine in combat. It's great. And you know what? In the end, we all made the right choice. No one died, and I love that. I love that.
For the most part.
Next.
Okay. One thing I liked about the game. Oh man. I think the one that really stuck out with me is literally any choice you make, no matter how small or mundane it may look or feel, has the potential to end up being a lot bigger or just enough to really change out your potential future options in any particular situation or just for any random encounter. I like that. Like, if you were to do one thing on a mission, like without thinking, it ends up to come back to haunt you or benefit you, whichever. with either items or seeing them show up again to help you or possibly kill you. I like that. Like everything in this game, every choice you have has a repercussion to it, good or bad. And it was really nice, kind of refreshing to know that if you stuck with that choice, it was definitely gonna come back to haunt you positively or negatively in this game. Like the Grove.
The what?
Talking about.
Next.
Hold up.
1 second. One thing I like about the game, the underwear. I got the underwear. Some good underwear in this game. I mean the clothes. The clothes. Okay, fine. The armor, everything, the outfits, the weapons, all of it. What's crazy about this game too? I haven't really played a whole lot of CRPGs, so I don't know if this is a standard or not. I feel like it isn't, but this is the first time in a game where everything that you put on actually shows up on your character, but it looks different depending on who you put that armor or clothing on. Like if you put it on a dwarf, you put it on an orc, like it all works together somehow, some way. This game, all the clothes works for every character, body shape, race. I was like, holy crap. You can literally just steal everyone's underwear and just swap it. I mean, that's what we did for at least like 30 minutes at the beginning of the game. We were trying each other's underwear out. Does it sound weird? Hell yeah, it sounds weird. Would I ever change it? No. That was an experience that will take to my grave.
That's how you know who your true homies are.
Yeah. True homies let other homies wear each other's underwear. So thank you, Tailman, for letting me wear your underwear for most of Act 1.
I got you, homie.
And then Mr. McMahon told me you can steal the companion's underwear. And I was like, that was a game changer right there. But yeah.
You don't need that.
You don't need the underwear. You're not even in our group. So I really respect that the developers took the time to... It's such a weird detail too, but hey, they did it. They even modeled genitalia. Well done, Larian Studios.
Did.
Well done. Okay, that's mine. Yeah. What about you, McMahon Meat?
Penis C is meta. Okay. So
more of a vulva B.
Vulva, shut up! It took me a second to realize what you guys were talking about. Selections for the genitalia.
So funny. Okay. One thing I really liked about Baldur's Gate 3 was the characters. If you've had the pleasure of a single player experience, then you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
If you've only played multiplayer, then you're seriously missing out. Because along with the already incredible narrative, the characters are equally well done and tie into the story and gameplay really well. Each character has an in-depth backstory and unique personality that each make them feel as if they're real people that you're truly getting to know and making memories with. I really got into my emotions at times with some of these characters, with Asterion especially, making me cry at some point. Manly tears, for the record.
Oh, yeah. Only manly tears.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd stall beating the game by doing as many side quests as I could, just because I wanted to spend more time with my party. Then beating the game felt like I was saying goodbye to my friends. And let me stop before you all think I'm an incel, but trust me when I say that the characters are a masterpiece. Next.
So I'm gonna have to piggyback on Mr. McMahon and just go Shadowheart. To clarify more. So going by what Mr. McMahon was talking about, the characters and the writing and that, the game does such an amazing job at the characters, the writing, the interactions, the companions. And I've said this on so many podcasts and that I play games for the gameplay. I'm not as huge into the story aspect than I am the gameplay. I attribute that partly to the ADHD and that. But I think the surprising thing is that this game has done such an amazing job with the writing and the characters and that, because I played through my first playthrough single player, and when I defeated one of the bosses I struggled with a lot, and I realized I had fucked up and Tarlak wasn't going to get the heart she needed, so that way she couldn't try whatever fucking spoilers. because of the issue with her being on normal land and that compared to her hell, for lack of better terms, I felt like a complete piece of shit that I had fucked up Karlak's future and freedom because she was one of the characters I played through with since the beginning of the game, and I'd grown to get to know her, like her, just know her backstory and that. And then when I realized I'd fucked up and I'd doomed her, even though she's just a video game character, I felt terrible. But
Yep.
also knowing that I played the entire game wearing Shadowheart's underwear, like
Yeah. How could you, Genji?
you learn to quickly get over certain things and that, and realize that at the end of the day, I fucked Shadowheart, I wifed her up, and I got to wear her underwear. So you win some, you lose some, really. So next.
Okay. Wait. So you didn't revert your save all the way back to where you could save her? You kind of just let it.
I realized at the end of the day, I had such a difficult fight with one of the bosses that I'm like,
You just
"Look,
came to accept it.
I enjoyed this game so much that I've promptly started another playthrough of this game just so that way I can end up not doing the same thing I did in the first game and actually make sure that Karlak isn't doomed. Like, I've literally have started another save file just so I can make the correct choice and help Karlak. I've
Who?
never done that with another game. The Inferno.
We have
Inferno
no
Mummy.
idea who that is.
Anyway, so Inferno Mummy. I have literally started another playthrough of the game just so that way I can save Inferno Mummy.
Fair
Like-
enough.
For no mommy.
This game, it is just something else when it comes to the writing and story and that, and I am disappointed that I've not experienced games of this quality from Larian and other developers for a very long time.
Yeah.
So
If it makes you care, they did the writing right.
They made the characters
Mhm.
really good, yeah.
ugh. Anyway, take it away, whoever's next.
Then my second one is that it's crazy to me that this game never has the same thing through each playthrough. When I did your guys's, and then two of mine, I think each playthrough felt like a whole different game. Like the first playthrough, I missed things. Second playthrough, I try to hit those things. And then playing with you guys, I'm like, wait a minute, you guys did this? What the? I didn't do this. and then I'm like starting my third one on Act 1. And then I'm like hitting the things I did on my second playthrough where I hit most things. And I was like, wait a minute, I didn't do this. And for me, for story games, it's pretty rare I'll play them twice.
I know.
But to play Baldur's Gate 3 or Baldur's Gate 3 3 times, and I'm about to start a fourth one, it's kind of yeah.
No, there's something special.
Yeah, there's something special about this game that kind of like that got me.
And
But yeah,
then, have you tried playing the game as one of the actual characters? Like Asterion?
Speaking of playthroughs, I did.
Yes.
There's another half game. I think. Well, okay, so I don't know what was going on with the Baldur's Gate like cloud system thing. So I was playing. I played Will for like 15, 20 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and then I came back the next day, and then my saves were for that play session were deleted for some reason.
Oh, that could be question 4 right there.
Oh,
But yeah.
yeah.
So you did play Will though, and it wasn't it like a little different too though.
Oh my god, 100%. I was like, wait a minute, this is happening. There was a baby playthrough I did, and then yeah. And then I did try. Well, then I did try like playthroughs with the other people,
Mm-hmm.
but the voice acting on each character, I didn't want to take away that.
Oh, I see. You should try role playing as Asterion. It's funny.
Oh, see, I did do that. That's the one I did first, but then I wanted to hear him, so I'm like, oh man,
I want to hear his snarky, sarcastic mannerisms.
Yeah, I didn't want to choose his dialogue,
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, I gotta leave it. I can't have him on my. I can't play as him. I gotta hear him. But yeah, each playthrough, I was like, this. Oh, can't believe. I don't know. I would have never.
And it's
I'm
like
like,
I'm sure you've seen like YouTube clips too of people like posting things like if you play as Astarion and you bite one of your teammates, they actually have like special dialogue that plays, or
oh yeah,
if you freaking kill Astarion when you before you even first meet him and before you even talk to him, you kill him and then you revive him. He'll actually have something to say to you about that.
oh okay, yeah, I saw that video.
So there's just a lot. There's a lot of depth to each playthrough. So I'm glad you mentioned that one.
Yeah, the smallest things I want to find, like just. Well, first I gotta get the achievements first. I'm trying to do honor mode right now.
Mm-hmm.
I am struggling.
It's a challenge.
It is. Oh my god.
Because you can't save scum, right? That's the big thing.
No.
Yep.
Just straight up. You fail. You fight this guy. You have to fight this guy.
Well, that's part of the fun.
Yeah. That's my next.
Okay. Well, for my second one, I love the way to approach each battle and conversation. It was always
That was the other
different.
one. Dang it.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. So like the ways that you approach, the smaller battles or the major battles or the secret areas, it's just so funny with things you can do. Like we played it completely differently. For like most of the game, after Toby got the spear, he would just usually chuck paintings or like the spear or like dead imps from season one. Yeah, from season one.
Yeah, from season one.
Like one still in his pocket. Like, what the heck?
It was so funny. It was great tossing enemies around, and then you can also like play with your fist or like it's so many ways you can like approach building your character, multi-classing. You could do like it's almost limitless, and there's so many spells. So it's like so many ways you can just play through the game again and again with a lot of replay value, which is awesome. And the same with the conversations and how they lead up, and each conversation kind of makes you worried. Should I save scum or should I not save scum?
Should I stay honorable?
Should I stay honorable? And you know what? No, I didn't at all in single player. Oh, I saved scum so much.
Oh yeah, in multiplayer we don't have the opportunity to save scum as much.
We used to at the start, but eventually we had the deadline was getting close.
You had a week.
But yeah, it's just like each battle. It's awesome, like of how you approach it. Like I played it completely differently from Tailman, who played it, and then Shai Shin, and then like how we would go tactical or sometimes all out in so many routes. It's like just awesome, and I love to see these kinds of things in RPGs. The more, the better. Next,
I like it.
Yeah. God, that was my other. I was banking on no one else would mention it. Damn it. Okay. God, I gotta think of something else I liked about the game.
You better be quick.
I think I'm gonna have to pick a bank off of Nakaso since he stole mine. I do like how you can completely skip fights altogether if you can have the right setup, and items. Like apparently, you know what I found out. That final battle, like the gauntlet thing we had to do that one time.
Mm-hmm.
We could have skipped it. You want to know how?
How?
Nothing but invisibility potions. No, seriously.
I know that makes sense.
Yeah, my supervisor was able. He at my work. He told me about that trick, and he did it, and he managed to do the whole entire thing in 15 minutes. The only ones you'd have to fight were like the 4 mind flayers up top near where that crown is, and then the brain. But everything else you could easily just skip by taking out some invisibility potions before you start a battle, before it actually initiates you into one. I was like, God,
actually makes sense.
It's just funny that there are legitimate options to even not fight at all if you really wanted to. So, but
to be fair, we did get to the top Remember, I was standing near that door for a long time because I thought we all had to get through, but nope. You just click the door and long rest is over there.
Just turns off everything. Yeah, everything else is irrelevant. But yeah, but if I had to choose another thing I liked about the game, the music was pretty good. It definitely suited the tone of the thing when felt like it was the final battle. Or if it was just like you're in a tavern somewhere or in a city. And I really do like how they made it they made the world feel very lively, like almost very believable. You could just see people talking about random ass things, and they will actually have it where if you listen to it, like on the side, they'll actually start a conversation and start it. And of course it'll loop, but you wouldn't notice that unless you just, keep passing by them. So they really did flesh out the world that you inhabit in Baldur's Gate and make it really feel like you're in a living thing. People actually have realistic reactions to you trying to steal something or kill someone, in front of them, which has happened. Or you just do something really weird looking, they'll be like, what the heck are you doing? So I do like how they really make the game's NPCs and people really feel alive in this game. Like you're actually interacting with town goers or random people on the side or anything like that. So, or the relationship with your whoever you're selling with. That also affects the prices. If you have a good relationship, you get a good discount. If not, they're going to charge you up the butt for whatever you have for that little one potion you need to save you from dying. So it just goes to show. So yeah,
Just goes to show. Just kill him.
Yeah, just kill him.
Yes.
What's the point?
What did you say yesterday during the stream of what was it? We kill him and then we bill him.
Yeah, we kill him and then we bill him.
Kill him then bill him.
Welcome to the U.S. Medical insurance.
No, there we go. But yeah, that's another thing I liked about the game was the world that you inhabit. It's very fleshed out and very believable for for what it is, and I like that. And the music. Next.
Oh yeah, name one song from the game.
Baldur's Gate intro when you're on the ship.
Nice. All right, well done. I like it. Okay.
Or the tavern music when you're in the last level when your camp is in the top of the hotel.
What's the name of the song though, Tailman?
I don't know the name of the song.
Me neither. Okay.
The lyrics came in, I was like, oh damn. That's what I'm gonna say.
In music with lyrics, OST
Isn't it called
extended.
Down by the River?
Yeah, Down Bad by the River.
Down bad by the river.
I mean, that is one of the interactions with the characters. So.
Yeah. All right. My thing I like about the game is it is so stupid in a good way how much dialogue is in this game. And it's not just straight up dialogue you'd expect. It's like it's always dynamically changing dialogue depending on your race, depending on your class, who was in your party, did you give them the Emerald Grove treatment or not? Like depending on how you built your character, you can approach the dialogue trees in many different ways. And like as a barbarian, I just yelled at everything. Does that make any sense? No. Did it work? It was hilarious. Yeah, and for some reason it does. Just yelling at people, not even saying words, just making noises. Apparently you can even get through the game. I did remember one thing McMamie mentioned. Like he played the game with different characters. So did Genji. What's crazy is when you are playing as that character, your dialogue options are also linked to how that character would talk and everything too. And
makes sense.
Yeah, and then how the world looks at you is dependent on how whichever character you're playing. Like if you're playing as Asterion, there's a lot of vampire related lore and dialogue choices. You just want to give everyone the big suck. Yeah.
Super cool.
Depending on how badly you want to give the big suck, people will look at you differently. And it's just like, man, this game has medieval racism. It's pretty crazy. Get the Yankee. Why are they green?
Pretty lit.
It's pretty lit. But yeah, the dialogue, the voice acting, everything's delivered spectacular levels. Again, I can definitely see why Asterion won Voice Actor of the Year. Especially when crap hits the fan. I mean, because at the very end of our playthrough, when we finally got to hear Asterion's like closing statements for his epilogue, I was like, oh my god, yeah, he had the most well fleshed out story. Then again, to be fair, we only had like 2 companions by the end, but
Yeah.
We had
we
like
have
2
4. Yeah, 4. Yeah,
So-
Minthara, Gale.
of the main cast I'm talking about. Like the Act 1,
yeah,
the
most
primary.
Important one,
Yeah.
Shadow Heart.
Astarion,
Yeah,
Gale.
Minthara.
Minthara isn't a main. But she's
Oh.
considered a secondary, yeah.
Oh, she is.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
2.
Even though she was
I mean, Lae'zel was somewhere. But yeah,
she's gone, bro.
I don't want to talk about it. But
Find your laser.
where? ¿Dónde está Lae'zel?
Can you tell us where
Aquí.
the Elder Brain
It's
is?
Blackith. But yeah, the dialogue, freaking well done. GG's. How about you, McMahon Meat?
All right, yeah. The second thing I liked about the game was the sheer amount of content.
God
The
dang.
amount of things to do in this game is absolutely bonkers, and then the freedom to do whatever you want, it's insane. And sure, it just sounds like I'm saying I like Baldur's Gate 3 because D&D, but this game is it almost truly replicates the D&D experience, and sometimes felt better than D&D. But there's an ungodly amount of things to do in this game, and I'm not even sure if there's anyone out there that's really experienced every little thing to do in Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, I've been cracked out on Baldur's Gate 3 content on YouTube, and I'm seeing people, content creators, do all these things I didn't even know were a thing, and I'm always like, that's why I'm still watching these videos, because then like I don't have to play through the game again. I just watch other people play through the game again and watch them and see what they do, and because everybody has a different experience, and This game has so much replay value. I don't even know what to do with myself, honestly. I enjoyed finding new things so much that I find myself constantly coming back for more. Next.
I like Baldur's Gate 3 because DND. No.
Nice.
Next.
All right,
No
next.
elaboration. just next.
That is a valid
No,
like.
so, lots of people spoke about the level of content, and the great thing is that the bugs the game did suffer from, with the amount of content and ways to go about the game, you could use elements of the game to get through those bugs and continue the story. However, the thing I'm going to focus on is the aspect that this game has kissed off so many other video game studios with the level of quality. Now, this isn't per se the stuff you can do in the game, but it kind of is. The amount of people who've gone on Twitter and that since this game's released and gone about how don't expect other games to do this in the future, don't expect other games to match the quality or the level of content and blah, 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 blah. The thing I absolutely love about the game is how much of a wake up call this is to people who play video games and to the industry about this game is the exception to so much that we've been guessing recently. And it's sad. Like, we have been blown away by the quality, the content, all the stuff that is part of this game. And it's just sad in some regard because there's so much crap that gets fed to us that is expected that we go out and buy the same rehashes of games, and people go out and buy it. And I'm not criticizing what games people want to play. Like, if you want to play another installment of Call of Duty, go ahead and that. But it's just sad that people have gotten through their minds that we shouldn't expect games like this. We don't deserve games of this quality because of the effort it takes, the time it takes. Like, I don't quite understand why, but is just refreshing to get something that is such high caliber to the point that I've gone out and bought Divinity 2 on Steam. I've gone onto the Steam reviews section, and there are so many people going back and buying their previous work because this studio is a studio that nearly went bankrupt in our business because they were struggling to fund the stuff they were doing. This is a studio that loves what they do and actually cares, and is great to see that they get the recognition after so long and people are going back and trying their other stuff, such as what I'm doing, because this is just a brilliant game all in all. So
Yep. That bear sex
Uh,
marketing. I'm telling you.
I think that was the first thing that caught my eye about the game, and the being able to stack like 30 crates on top of each other in order to jump over a wall that you couldn't get to. Like, you couldn't get into this place, so you just stack crates and you jump over it that way. Or,
Forgot about
you know,
that.
Dude,
or you
yeah.
have a bug that you can't you can't open this door because you need certain things, but the game bugs out and you can't collect them. So instead, you use a character's ability, you use the bugs of the game and glitches in order to morph through a wall and then activate the switch on the other side, or you summon Scratch to pull the lever in order to get you through. Like, despite the bugs that this game has, there are tools in this game you can use through spells and that in order to overcome the bugs if you are creative, and that is just amazing. Opposed to Skyrim's flying backwards dragons. Okay.
I forgot about that.
What are 2 things you did not like, and how would you improve it? And we'll be alternating for this one.
The first thing I didn't like that really irked me, and it happened single player and multiplayer, is that this game was really buggy during some of the cutscenes. I mean,
Okay.
I get it that there's so much stuff to load and like how many people and how many things are going on, but especially on the final battle, that was the worst for me. The assets of the cutscenes wouldn't load. There was a specific scene where it was like completely ruined for me. I mean, I guess the voice actor was kind of sick, so I was like, oh, following along. It was when am I doing spoilers?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. You know the Emperor scene where he's explaining his past?
Mm-hmm.
I think every playthrough I went through that scene, I never actually got to see where he was at. All I saw was the
really?
character model. Yeah, all I saw was a character model just running in space.
You said this was especially during cutscenes, right?
Yeah.
That's weird. I've never run into any like cutscene type bugs yet.
But
But
maybe it's just my computer. But
who knows?
I mean, I set everything. I wanted to like fix that so bad. I set everything on low. Everything was like
Okay.
everything off. Like, so I don't know what was up with that. I really wanted to see, and then also the assets on in the town when like
Mhm.
loading in. I would have to wait like a bit for everything to load, and then
yeah.
especially if you're playing like a tank. There are some scenes, especially like Dark Urge, when you're talking to like a little guy. The angles would be kind of weird, to where my character would just block everything. Like when I played the Paladin, I was like, "What's going on?"
I've seen that though.
So okay, because I was like, I mean, I'm a Paladin. I'm wearing like heavy armor, and I'm like, who?
Taking up like 90% of the screen.
Yeah, I think for me it was just it was kind of buggy on the cutscenes, which I was like really disappointed in. It's just when a lot of things are loading in, but then I don't know. It was when the game would swap from the game to an actual cutscene. It wouldn't be like I'm talking to a guy and he just appears right in front of me. It was when they would cut to a different scene. It would always screw me over. And I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and they just look games. Yeah, the game's just a little buggy. I mean, there's things you can't click on, things you're trying to click on,
And it won't work.
Yeah, it won't work, and I'm like, why won't this work? And yeah, I think it was just like it was just small errors that just come on. I think the errors wouldn't be a big thing if they were like small. Oh, okay, can't do that. My bad. The errors would come up when there would be things I needed to do.
Oh. Game
Like
breaking.
if I needed to kill this guy during this battle, when I can clearly see him, and it says you cannot see him, and I'm like, what?
Yep, I've seen that.
Yeah, or like I need to swing at this guy, and
Saying you
it's
can't.
like my character cannot walk to him, and I'm like, what do you mean? It's a straight line going there, and I'm like checking everything. I'm like reading all the passives each person has, making sure that I'm not the one who's messed up. But no, I'm like, come on.
And then you have to work around the bug and reposition yourself manually.
Yeah, you got to do the like pixel clicks.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, they're like 1 pixel that allows you to hit them. I'm like, god dang it. Which I'm curious what it's like on the console, because I'm gonna be playing this game again on console.
Yeah. Well, Genji played it purely on console, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, it'll be interesting to hear from him. I know he's gonna have a lot to say, because remember, for like a week or so, the entire game was just busted. for him. Like it just would not work at all. And I think and they had to do a hot fix in a patch. But I'll let Genji talk about that. I know he's going to bring it up.
Yeah, I'll see what's happening.
This is going to be short and quick.
All right.
I wish there was a multi-pickup / multi-sell option for like different rarities, like commons, grays, blues, purples,
Oh my gosh,
yellows.
yeah.
There is a way to like, you can shift tab or like select multiple, but you cannot just like assign one rarity to sell at a vendor.
Mhm.
You can like, sure, you can mark, you have to mark each one to sell the wares
or something like that.
or send it back to your camp if you want like free up inventory. But and then like there's so much to pick up in the game too. Like there's so many single things in each barrel or on the ground. Like, yeah, I want those 50 apples, but it takes like a few minutes just to pick them all up. So I wish I could just like multi-pick it up. Even if there was, I mean, there could be, if anyone knows, if there's a spell or something that or skill that allows you to pick up multiple things at a time. But if not, I still think adding a way to pick up things multiple just to save time and also just to sell would just save a lot of time as well.
Quality of life. Yes. I like it.
Yes. Next.
I think. Okay, so this is where the whole only play online thing starts to kick in. But one of the things that really annoyed me about this game really is just sometimes whenever you're in a dialogue with another character, whatever they're talking about doesn't ever show up, so you're just stuck looking at the character looking off into the space for no reason. Especially when they're doing a roll and you want to give them bonuses, you can't do it, so you're just stuck just looking at them looking all weird and dumbfounded until it moves on to the next cutscene or whatever. That's like the most annoying thing I had to deal with, at least on my end. I'm not sure if it's for anyone else, but for me mainly.
For me.
For you too? Okay. Yeah, it just like took me out of the immersion. Like, what are they saying? I want to help too. I want to help influence the dice roll a little, with our bonuses. But now I'm just stuck looking at Tubby's character, your character, or my character, or whoever,
Being confused.
Just looking all confused,
His
making
character
facial
did
expressions.
have a good cake though.
Yeah.
I wasn't
It
complaining.
didn't hurt to look at Tubby.
God dang. S tier cake.
Caked up on a Sunday morning. But yeah, no, that was the biggest one I've noticed that stuck out with me is just sometimes the dialogue screens or roll screens just don't show up for me. And it just kind of just took me out of it. It's like, okay, so I just gotta hope that something good happens or whatever. But yeah, that was like the main one that stuck out to me. And I guess the only way to fix it, I don't know, work.
Just fix it.
Just work.
Just work.
Just don't pull a Todd Howard. It just works, man. Fix it.
Throw a couple more semicolons in that code.
Yeah, or comment out one line. You'll be surprised how one line can really break code. I mean, look at Aliens, Colonial Marines. Turns out the AI of the thing was so bad because they forgot to comment out one line of code, and apparently the alien AI works now. So
good meme.
We never know. We never know. But yeah, that's one of my things I don't like. Next.
Okay, for me, oh my god, this is something I would not have found out if I did not play single player, and if Noxo and I didn't try to bring companions with us. While you and Shaishen were gone on some of the days, but the character pathing when traversing the world is dookie. Like your companions would many times get stuck or lose their way to you. Like when traversing the world, you can kind of get them to get unstuck by ungrouping and grouping, and sometimes that'll like send enough game logic to the characters where they will actually try to find their way back to you. But there were so many times, especially like in areas that you have to do leaps. And yes, I did check the range of the characters. They can make those leaps. So before anyone says anything, but the thing is when when you're traversing those kind of areas or just traversing in general and the characters are getting stuck, it's like, it's a pain in the butt. Cause like, what else can you do at that state? And if you don't want to go all the way back and teleport, you have to manually and individually pick each character and manually move them over there. It's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things, but holy crap, it's annoying. And especially if you're playing a lot of single player and you're trying to just try these different routes. It's like, man, am I going to lose my companion? Because remember Noxa, like we would be playing And then we'd have Shai Shen and Tailman's characters follow us, and then we're like, "Where's Tailman? Where did Shai Shen go?" Yeah, you're like stuck in the tavern. You got stuck on a barrel or something, and it's like, man.
Oh, of course.
So we have to reload it, roll it back, get you, make sure you're following, and then re-engage the fight. It's just little small things. How do you fix it? I don't know. Make it work.
I don't fix your. I don't know. What the heck?
But yeah, this is my thing. Do some coding or something. I don't know. McMahon meet.
That's the average Twitter user. Make the game work.
Just make it work, please.
Like it's just magic.
Game broken.
Game broken.
Game broken. Please fix.
For real.
I am sad.
That's a good point there. Yeah. One thing I didn't like, but got used to after a while was the camera. Specifically the lack of camera angles and controls.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, the camera was pretty basic, where you could turn it and zoom in and out. That's it. Sure, it got the job done, but I think the game could have really benefited from the additional camera controls, because I know I can't be the only one that has misclicked something because I couldn't get the camera angle right.
Yep.
And
No, that happened to me many times where I was
like if we're inside, trying to go inside like a thing with a roof.
yeah, exactly.
And has anyone noticed whenever you try and click somewhere, you end up trying to steal something, and then it just angers the guard?
Yeah.
Oh my god, no, I'm trying to move to the door.
It's
this
the
happens to
camera
me.
angles. The camera angles, man. Yeah. And then there's that thing that the camera does where the game takes over the camera controls, and when you do a range attack, it resets, and I find that pretty annoying. And
or like when you kill
thankfully,
an enemy, it just locks into an enemy for like long.
yeah, and like zooms in on their butt, you know.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
and like
Hell
it
yeah.
zooms in. The camera would always zoom into my character's ass.
We have a screenshot of that too.
Yeah, great screenshot. But
God,
thankfully, there's a mod on Nexus Mods that allows you to have more freedom over the camera, which solved almost all the camera problems for me. How would I improve the camera? I would say integrate that camera mod into the game, but make it a toggleable option, because I understand that some people might prefer having a simple camera setup. But for me, in a game like this, I definitely prefer having more freedom over the camera movement. And that's it for me. That actually might be the only thing I didn't like, but we'll see. Next.
Firstly, fuck you, Mr. McMahon, for stealing my point.
I'll go ahead on to it. Let's hear
That's
it.
what Niles did to me.
Piggyback.
No, I think you touched really nicely on the camera aspect. Piggybacking on what you said, I'm pretty sure Larian in Divinity 2 or something released an update where it was like a collection of their favorite mods, where they made it like an official collection where you could go in and you could then play with those mods. So like being able to run through places and all that kind of thing. So they might do something like that similarly for Baldur's Gate 3, and where you can toggle it on and off. It makes it accessible. The thing that annoyed me about the game was I found, at least through playing on PlayStation 5, was there were certain moments, and it became more and more frequent later in the game, where it'd be an enemy's turn, and it was just a single enemy, and the game would pause for like 10 seconds. And then the AI would make its move. And it would happen very randomly, and it got to the point where I'm kind of like, has the game crashed? Is it frozen or whatever? And then the character would make the move. So clearly the game was processing like the character, what they were going to do and stuff. And I get that potentially with the amount of options you have in the game, it could be difficult for the AI to figure out what it needs to do. But it was just such a long period of time where I'm kind of like, it just took me out of the experience a little bit, where I'm kind of like, what's going on? Like, do I need to reset the game? And then as soon as I'm like, okay, I'll reset the game, the AI then would attack. I'm like, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm playing a video game. I'm not in a mythical Baldur's Gate universe where my waifu is a extremely hot sorceress.
Oh, my second issue with the game. Look, I feel like this game needs to be a little bit more what do you say? Friendlier to the non D&D players. Like, I mean, I play with you guys, but then I also talk to some of my friends who've been playing it, and you know, not everybody's a D&D, like they get it, right? Not everybody gets
Tailman.
Like not everybody gets that there's different passives, there's stats, there's ways to move, and there's ways to like level up your stats. Like because I play D&D and the stat thing, I was like, oh my god, this doesn't really tell you. There's a thing about even stats in this game where odd stats are really bad and even stats are really good, and this game doesn't really tell you that.
I didn't even hear about that. Now I know.
Oh yeah, yeah. So your stats, you know how you have charisma bonus and strength bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Your stats, those bonuses only go up per every 2 stat points.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah, so seeing someone play this game, like I have a friend, my sister's friend, who was just like doing these stats. And I'm like, why do you have all odd stats? She's like, what do you mean? Because, higher the number means higher your stats. But technically, it's higher every other number, the higher your stats. So if you put these points there and there, you're wasting points.
Oh, like if you don't know where you're allocating the points.
Yeah. Or like even when you get bonuses, like Auntie Ethel's hair or something, and you get 16 to a 17, you're like, oh, my stat's higher. Technically, your stat's the same. You just wasted a point unless you get another stat bonus, which is pretty rare unless you get like feats and stuff.
That's interesting. I had no idea. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's like stuff like that, and then plus bonuses, and then dice bonuses, and especially they need to have some, I don't know, like, just more tooltips. Like the tutorial, like in-depth tooltips. Like, how a fighting game has in-depth combat moves and like explaining, like something like that.
Like Street Fighter.
Yeah, or like Tales of Vesperia, any Tales game or whatever.
Oh, that's a terrible example. Don't even bring.
Okay.
even if they're explaining, dude, you have no idea what the heck they're saying.
I mean, because I'm talking about like they have it,
Yeah, the problem is they have it, but there's so much of it, and the way they explain it is terrible. So Tales,
fine.
You can read that
RPG,
textbook.
Octopath Traveler. I don't know.
I would say no. I like your idea though. Just like gradually put the player in and like teach them stuff, and just even have it as an option to enable or disable.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Tales
they do have
games, though,
tutorials, but it's
terrible.
Like, I don't know. I've been looking at RPGs recently, and I was looking at like heavy RPGs. I was like, that looks fun.
It is fun. You're gonna have no idea what they're saying though.
Oh, okay, fine.
I say Persona. Persona does a good job. I mean, you're still seeing tutorials like hours into the game, but at least they're like spreading
Persona,
it out.
There you go. That's a good one. Yeah. Okay, that's a way better one. I mean, it's like. At least, I mean, it saves the person from the D&D dice rolling experience, right? Dice rolling in D&D is annoying. Like, how much dice you roll? You know how you just see percentage chance of hit?
Yeah,
dude. When you have like 50 things that add to that that advantage, you're like, okay, this dice, okay, this fourth dice I just added, double this dice. I mean, there's stuff like that. I mean, honestly. Just more tutorials, like especially for like combat. For someone, especially for the beginning mode, they should add like an undo button. Like even not even for like undo actions, like undo walk,
undo the path. Isn't that called F8?
No, but like without save, reloading a save.
Okay,
like,
okay.
Oh. Like there are times where you know how I want to press throw?
Yeah.
I accidentally click hide and then my action's gone.
Oh, I see. And
I'm like, God, what the God dang it.
I could see that. It could be a quality of life change.
Yeah, just like just like quality of life teaching a little bit more.
Like an easy mode. If you're new to D&D or don't know how the style game works, CRPGs work, pick this mode.
Yeah. I mean, they have balance mode, which they do explain, but
barely.
That's difficulty. Yeah, sorry.
The moment you leave that ship, you're done.
Yeah, like they have balance mode, but then they have balance mode. That's for difficulty, but I would say add help. Instead of just difficulty lowered, help. But yeah, and then that's why you have the other modes that people can just challenge themselves in, which is likely because this game lets you, or kind of coerces you to play again. So, but yeah,
I gotcha.
yeah. Next.
This is something that I noticed at the end of the game. I noticed you can. Well, there's like one thing is, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I think I talked to Withers. It wasn't an option to switch out characters, right? Like once you pass the brain, like the brain part, all the way up
Brain
to the end.
blast. I didn't see anything.
I don't think, and that was such an unfortunate thing because, like, some parts at the end, I wish we could have used Gale, but instead we had Lazel. And it was just kind of weird that you couldn't switch it out. You couldn't I know the game gives you a warning, but I feel like for your party, once you're in that last part, you should be able to at least switch them out.
At least between
just to see
checkpoints.
for the last battle. Yeah, because it's a long way back if you want to go
It's
all
mentioned
the way
before
back
you
to
go
the brain
there.
part.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it would have been just fixed if they just mentioned, all right, you're about to head to the Elder Brain. Is your last chance, set up your powder or something. Just give you a notification like this is literally the point of no return, but they didn't do that. They said you're about to go to the Elder Brain. You want to continue? I'm like, oh, okay. So
Yeah. I mean, it was like one of the things that's switching out during those parts. I guess that could extend to the whole game. Mostly in multiplayer. When you're Tubby, the whole Shadowheart thing, the night song.
Mm-hmm.
We would have obviously took freaking Shadowheart if we knew that, but we were 4 in a party. So maybe being able to have a 5th member that you could recruit just for story purposes.
That
So
would be nice. Yeah.
So you could have that character. Because a lot of times, I was I know we joke about, side characters dying, but it would have been nice. I think we would have been more inclined to have that character in our party, Lazel, and doing everything there, doing everything. This is just mostly a multiplayer thing. You don't really have this issue in single player, of course, since you have 4 members. So yeah, that thing I would like to see, just being able to switch out characters or have party members in your party for story purposes.
Or if you enter that area that is special for a character in your camp, I don't know, maybe it triggers a cutscene and then that character wants to go with you.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Okay.
Next.
Oh man, let's go.
I'm trying to think, what's another thing I didn't like about this game?
If you're not sure, you can always just hit next.
Remember,
if you don't give 2, your score should be should be high.
I mean, because everything else I had in mind, y'all already mentioned, the selling thing. Oh, moving your character. For some reason, I'm not sure if it was an update or not, but at one point, when I played on PC, the way I could move my character would just be clicking. I really wished you could just use your WASD keys to move your character, like how you can.
There's a mod for that.
I meant
There's a mod
with the game
for that.
already, not through a mod. Because I didn't know you could even mod Baldur's Gate. To be honest, I think it's not really a major thing, but it would have been a nice quality of life improvement. Where if you're playing on PC, you don't always have to keep clicking or click and hold your character, because that also led me to click on some stuff I didn't want to, and then they think I'm trying to steal, and that led to another issue. Or when I was trying to move, I ended up clicking on an iron guard, and then I ended up talking to him, and I went to jail when I didn't even want to talk to him to begin with, just trying to move my character. It would have been nice to just be able to move your character with WASD.
Wait a second. But didn't you play Torchlight too?
Yeah.
You had to use your mouse.
That one was okay because the maps weren't as big as they were in Baldur's Gate.
What?
Interesting.
I felt like Torchlight was a smaller game. You had a lot more space to click on things. But in Torchlight, I remember I do have to click, but it was the setting wasn't as populated with so many other stuff you can click on accident. That was
maybe you can have a sense. You can also maybe have a sensitivity setting too. unless there's a mod
yeah.
for that.
There's a mod for everything.
sensitivities. So like, think,
I guess my issue is not the fact you have to click to move. It's just that when you have to click to move, a lot of stuff could be accidentally clicked on that you didn't mean to. Which could also be a thing with the camera, but just movement in general. Like, I try to move my character here, click and holding and all that, but then somehow the game will think I want to click on trying to steal a random ass fork, and then the guard will be like, I don't like you doing that. And then it's like, what
Stop
the heck?
stealing their stuff, dude.
Yeah,
Oh
stop
my
stealing
God.
it. Easy solution.
Okay.
oh, I know a solution. You could just have the player like hold the mouse button for like an additional second to pick it up.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like an
But,
option for it.
just
Now-
sounds like a skill issue.
And then the
Uh-oh.
other thing is like I used the controller for a bit, and then that sort of fixed everything for a while.
Oh, okay,
And
okay.
then- yeah. So that's the only thing nice thing about on the PC. At least you can have the option to play with or without the controller or with the mouse and keyboard. It just, I guess, yeah. At least you have an option to fix it. But at least on mouse, I wish it would be a bit more optimized in terms of everything is click sensitive. Like I think that I like the option of you have to click and hold just for a bit longer than you normally would to activate an action. So
I mean, it's not a bad idea. Quality of life or like click or touch sensitivity when you're taking items, or even just locking. Like again, kind of like what Nox was saying, locking specific types of rarity so you only click on the good stuff. You don't want that half-eaten bagel, and then you get thrown into jail because of that. So no, it makes sense.
I'll be real. I've collected a lot of spoiled food for some odd reason and sent it to camp.
Oh, you too? Dang, we got through many nights with those half-eaten apples and rotting carrots.
No, exactly. I was like, this can be used for camp stuff. Screw it, send it to camp.
Yep. I like it though. Make a good point. You make a good point, good sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
or the actually, yeah. So anyway, next. Those are my main two complaints.
All right, my thing. You guys know about the character pathing in this game? Well, let me tell you, I'm gonna talk about character pathing again. In combat specifically, for some reason, I know this has happened to us, especially the people who use melee. Sometimes your character, for some reason, will use logic that makes you take the longer path when engaging to do an attack. Or it happened to me a lot for some reason. When you clicked on an enemy, you were a few pixels off of that enemy, and then you just attacked the air. You just wasted a turn.
That's happened to me a few times. Yeah.
Or you try to go around fire and you click the path around the fire, but for some reason your character still walks on it.
Yep.
And then gets damaged like 20 health points. Oh my god.
And then if you have AI following you, okay, this is outside of combat. But if you have AI following you, you would think that they are programmed to like, okay, here are the switches. You can clearly see them. We've already used our perception, you guys. We know where the switches are. Let's just walk around them. But then they just freaking walk and hit every single switch, and then y'all just die. I'm like, are you serious? Shadowheart, you perceived that like 5 turns ago. You know that it's there. Why are you still walking on it? But again, just small things they can work on. But yeah, the pathing in combat, I guess that kind of mixes in with Genji's thing too. Like the AI enemies, it's like, oh, why is it just frozen? What are they thinking? They're about to do something crazy, and then it like takes them 10 seconds, and then they take like 5 steps to the left or something.
Oh my god! You know which one?
Yeah.
Biggest outlier, the Minthara one in camp.
Oh.
Fighting the Oathbreaker.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And Minthara got stuck. Remember, she just kept getting stuck like every time it was her turn.
Yeah. She got stuck at her at the entrance of her tent.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she'd just be a wasted turn essentially. We're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's just the pathing. Overall, it's not bad, but there are some improvements they can be making with this. Felt like I was playing this little indie game known as Heroes of the Storm. Noxo knows what I'm talking about with that character pathing. But yeah, that is my thing. What about you, McMahon Meat? What's your how to fix it? Just fix it. Okay, McMahon Meat. What about you?
Make it just work.
Just work, please.
Fix your game. Nothing. Next.
Nice.
He's one of those. Okay.
So there was the bugs that got fixed or whatever. Fuck, what was I? Oh yeah, I was like,
The
fuck, what was
PS5
my
one?
last point? Yeah, so one thing that I'd like to see, not necessarily bad, but I'll throw it in here because I've run out of ideas, is that we go because how amazing the story is and how great the characters are. The one disappointing aspect of the game was the final gauntlet boss fight. It would have been cool for you to have now to brought more than just 3 other companions. I feel like I've gone, and the only reason you can't is because the limitation of gameplay. Like they've built it around the entire game around having 4 characters at the most. 5 if you have like when you have your fuckable bear waifu at the beginning of the game if you free him from the cage. But the thing I would have liked to have seen was the File Gauntlet being able to take more of your companions, even if it's just the main cast of companions, and just take them with you. So, say you've made the choices throughout the game and you've got 6 of them. Being able to bring them all, I get that it would break the game, but I'm sure they could implement some form of scaling or something for the more characters you have. It's just disappointing that for the game when it's the conclusion when you're saving the world and that, but hey, you can only bring 3 other people along with you,
Yeah.
and it just I feel like they put so much effort into the characters, everything like that, and then you've got your final showdown,
Mhm.
and you're
Still
limited.
better than Tears of the Kingdom's final showdown, that's for sure.
Fuck, that was arguably one of the worst things
Tears of the
about that
Kingdom?
game.
Zelda.
Is that the Zelda game? Oh.
Dun, 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 dun.
Da-da-da-da.
But I just would like to be able to bring everyone along, or even if you had to meet a certain friend criteria, like you had to build up your relationship with them to a certain point for them to be willing to come with you for the last fight or something. Just, I would like to just bring the characters I've built, the connections, the relationships gone through, fucking the characters, killing surgeons, preventing cults and setting off fireworks and tearing down just factories. I just want to bring them with me and feel like the effort I've put in is rewarded in that aspect, if
Mhm.
that makes sense.
It makes sense.
So,
Let's move on to question 5. What is your final verdict and final rating from 0 to 10 using a 0.5 scale? Take it away, Noxo.
0 to 10. Baldur's Gate was a crazy experience.
Best cutscene. Oh god, this dude is thirsty for Minthara,
Yeah.
bro, man.
What? No, I'm done. I'm post.
All right.
Carlac now.
What's your
Oh,
score?
Carlac.
Yeah, what's your
He's got
score?
close to power clarity.
My score
He's dropping it like he dropped Emerald Grove.
my
Oh my
score
god.
is a solid 9 out of 10.
Wow.
The only reason that it went down is some of the bugs we experienced at the times, and also the other quality of life changes I will have loved to see. My score would have probably been higher if I played originally like Baldur's Gate 2 or 1. And there's like a lot of references to characters, and there are characters within Baldur's Gate 3. So I can imagine people giving this like a 9.5 or a 10, just like the improvements, you know. But for me, I give it it's like a strong 9. Like it was so close for me to give it a 9.5, but there was just a few things that we talked about I would like to see improved.
All right.
Fair enough.
And I am done. Moving on.
Damn, man.
Yeah, my rating.
Yeah. What's your rating?
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.
Game is mid. Too much water. Characters are too hot. Combat is interesting. I'm not a fan of RPGs. My hand hurts. 8 out of 10. Easy.
Okay. And why?
What?
Why?
Too much water.
I just give my.
Yeah,
I
he said
just
too
give
much
my
water, his hand
explanation, bro.
hurts.
Oh.
The characters are too hot.
Characters are too.
Hand
Game is
hurts.
mid. Not a fan of
Game is
RPGs.
Dang.
He did.
No, I
He's
mean,
gonna
okay,
show hot.
but no, seriously, I did give it an 8 out of 10. Mostly, like I said, the only things that really ruined my experience online was just those things. But because they didn't happen once in a while, they happened pretty often to where it kind of took me out of it, and that kind of ruined it for me. And just the occasional issues with movement in the game, at least using my mouse and keyboard, when I had to click on everything and accidentally click on something I didn't want, which ended up taking me to places I didn't mean to, and then ended up getting into a random encounter with someone I didn't have to. You know, that kind of took me out of it too. Some of the occasional things that you mentioned too, like the selling of stuff, the odd pathing at times, and you know the camera movement also kind of does kind of feel like more of a chore more at times. You know, all those things really did also kind of, I'm not gonna lie, did really kind of kill my enjoyment more than I would have liked to not admit, but it kind of really did. Because they happen so far often, it's something I have to constantly keep in mind not to do, which at that point it becomes more of a chore of management of how I do things at that point, and I can't just turn off my brain and actually enjoy the game for what it is, for the most part. But other than that, though, you know, if you're willing to overlook those minor issues, I definitely did enjoy the game, and I don't play RPGs often, but this is one I could probably see myself playing on and off just when I got nothing else better to do, you know, doing all the being a good run and all that. But yeah, definitely a solid 8 out of 10 for me, for sure.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So for me, I mean, we already know Baldur's Gate 3. Genji's been talking about it. We didn't know that this is a masterclass when it comes to RPGs. Set the standard of what it means to be an RPG. But we've heard it. We've seen it. There's a reason why it won Game of the Year 2023 from multiple people. Even the developers hate, as much as they hate to admit it. Yeah, it is a new standard for RPGs, whether you like it or not. And there's a reason why developers are saying to not expect this level of quality, because the amount of content in this game is downright insane. Sure, there were a few game-breaking bugs that we all have mentioned. You know, me with the whole pathing issues. But you know, these are all the small things and the grand design of things, if you know what I'm saying. But the thing is, okay, here's the part where I'm like ripped between the two. If I had played this game, only the multiplayer aspect of it, I just thought of everything that we experienced, credits roll, I would honestly have given the game probably an 8.5. And that's because, again, in a multiplayer setting, it's a lot different. You don't see as many things. You don't get to see all the many nuances on all the smaller details. But because I took the time to also play single player on the side, and I think I started it like sometime in December, and I got through the entirety of Act 2, my mind was blown at how much we had missed. and how detailed and in-depth this game was. I didn't quite understand it. I kind of got a little taste of it as we were doing multiplayer, but until I did the single player and I got through the end of Act 2, I was like, oh my God, there is so much in this game. And there's so much things that like interlink and interweave into each other. Like the stuff that you do in Act 1 carries to Act 2, and then in Act 3, I was like, wow, it's this game you really want to take your time with. And right now, currently, I would give the game a 9.5 Balding Gates out of 10. Simply because of that. The multiplayer and then doing the single player, it was just, again, 2 great experiences, but it allowed me to really see what it really means to be a Balding Gate. And this game is amazing. 9.5 out of 10. Why is it not a 10? There's a lot of examples, but man, we experienced so many bugs in our multiplayer playthrough. And yeah, the argument can be made, oh, but there's patches. But again, we're reviewing the game as our experience. And during that time, there were a lot of bugs that just broke the game. People kept crashing. People kept getting kicked.
I could get like disconnected randomly out of nowhere. I'm like, what the heck? You know?
Some could say that's a hardware issue. I don't know. It is what it is. But it, again, over time, as the patches continue to roll out, which they're doing a really good job at, I could definitely, if I were to like play this game again, I could definitely see myself giving it a 10. But from what I experienced, 9.5 out of 10. Amen. McMahon Meat, Mike, over to you. Take it away.
Oh no, he got way brow banded.
No, dang. Well, it was a good run.
I'll speak for Mr. McNamee because I know 10 out of 10, easy game of the year. Move over to Genji.
All right, go ahead, Genji.
Best game ever I've ever played. Okay, cool. So this game, I've never played a CRPG before in my life. Like
Same.
this, I literally saw the advertisement for the game, stacking all the crates on top of each other. You can flick a bear, and I'm literally like, this game seems amazing. I need to play it. And that's literally the most I knew about the game going into it. Through playing it, the storytelling, the different approaches to gameplay, there are bugs and they were frustrating, but there is so much content and so many varieties of ways to go about things. You have the ability to overcome those bugs through the character's abilities, spells, and other things like that, which was impressive. There were instances where I'm like, I cannot continue this character's story without being able to do this, but I cannot do this because the game is bugged. But wait, what if I go and get this character and I do this in order to do that? It works. And then I was able to continue. So not excusing the bugs, because if one of, say, but then again, you could buy your other companions, so you could still do it. So either way, bugs, yes. Didn't really play much this single co-op, but when I did, it was hard crashing. Even single play was crashing, but once they fixed patch 1.04, those issues were addressed in that. So annoying at that point, yes, but I was able to move on in that. Visuals, music, all that stuff, absolutely amazing, besides a few hiccups along the way. So I simply have to say this game, first time in Video Game Book Club, let's end it with a bang, 11 out of 10. Moving on.
Dang, 11. All right, we're rating that score at 10. Genji's cheating here. You can't.
Rigged.
You know what? All right.
He's rolling a critical 20, so it reverts to 10.
Wait a second.
He's doing a crit 21, bro.
Wait a second. D20 dice. Let's see here.
Yeah, what are you giving it?
Have a 3
Wait a
So watch it land on like
Roll
a 1.
D20.
Please get a nat 1.
Let's see
Please
here.
do me a favor. Do a nat 1.
Wait a second. I will be. So start.
Give me a nat 1, please.
Stop. Fuck, it's a 1.
Oh, well, all right. So Genji's score is now 1. Let me change that math. Okay.
What'd you
You
get?
should have had all our scores based on dice rolls.
Dang. So Genji's a 1.
So anyway, I'm giving it a
Just
10 out
one,
of
that's
10
me.
because the I got a nat 1, so therefore I don't get to get an 11 out of 10. So
Fair enough.
McNamee, are you back?
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, he's back.
Perfect.
We said you gave it a 10 out of 10, so
Oh,
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I knew you got my back.
That was just his guess, too. What did you really give it, McMahon Meat?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm just gonna say it. I've never experienced anything as good as Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm not sure if I ever will.
How about
Sure,
Tears
you.
of the
that
Wait,
ass.
Kingdom?
what about Resident Evil?
How about
That
how
ass.
about Breath of the How about Breath
That
of the
ass.
Wild?
Yeah,
No cap. My
Zelda.
God, for real, for real.
Still a compilation of McMahon meat saying, "I don't think I'll ever experience anything like this again."
I don't think I'll ever experience
It's the best
Resident
thing
Evil
that's
4
ever happened
better
to me.
than my child.
It just keeps getting one upped. Thank you, Larian, for everything you did to make this game possible. Also wanted to mention that Larian's constantly working on Baldur's Gate 3, squash bugs, and improve the player experience. I think that's awesome. This game has taken over my life. Thank you, Genji, for ruining my
welcome.
life.
Nice. Well done. Well
A
done.
1.8% chance
Oh,
of my life being thrown away, and it won.
Won.
I'd planned on buying the game at some point. I just needed the motivation, and there it is.
And book club came along.
It was a
I didn't
sign.
use a single
You
bonus
needed
point.
a reason.
Anyway, Dungeons and Dragons, it holds a very special place in my heart. Some of the most fun I've had in my life with my friends back in the day was playing Dungeons and Dragons, which is why I love this game so freaking much. I love it so much. I wrote a 2-page backstory on my first Baldur's Gate 3 character. Nobody's ever read it. I've never read it to anybody.
All
I
right.
just
Well,
did it.
we'll talk
was
later
funny.
on. That's going to be a separate video, right? Just for that part. And I'll have you read it live.
Sure, why not?
All right. Cool. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm not gonna ramble. Baldur's Gate 3, everybody. My final score for this game is 10 out of 10.
Hell yeah. With that said, Baldur's Gate 3 gets our final average rating of 1%. Okay, no, 94.2% or 56.5 out of 60. Should you play it? Short answer, yes. Moving on, bonus mystery question time. Shaishen has submitted his question before he made his trip over to Japan. So here we go. You guys ready? First question.
Mhm.
It's gonna be
Wait a
a
second. Oh, wait. I was
brain
gonna say, wait, so
thinker.
so he was the one who got selected.
Well, also because he left like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. So,
Argue that.
all right, here is Shaishen's question. In Baldur's Gate, there are mystical beasts, demons, and gods you fight. Staying true to the overall nature of D&D, what other god or boss would you like to add to the game? And he specifically said, note, the boss can't be invincible. It must have some type of weakness somewhere. And consider the power, I guess, the power scaling of the game and insert your boss into this game. And figure out how would you fight it? How would you take it down? Sure, give it a
Do
setting.
you mean like any boss in like from media or like
Yeah.
anything you can think of?
Whatever you can think of. What other god or boss? He specifically said, what other god or boss would you like to add to the game? So I guess just think of like the lore of Baldur's Gate and like how the game is set up, with warlocks and mind flayers, and like see what you can come up with.
Okay, my monsters that would add to Baldur's Gate. So, it's gonna be a very far reach, by the way. In Seven Deadly Sins,
Oh, that's gonna be good.
especially the iPhone game Grand Cross. There is gonna be. They have monsters that appear for weekly events, and there are giant mythical beasts. I think it's on Norse lore. I think that's what most of the mythical beasts on Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross is on. But there is giant gods. That's actually on my in my Baldur's Gate 3 gameplay. That's what my characters are actually named off of. Adjur. Hold up, I gotta look.
You don't even know your own character's name. What's that? I did a
Yeah, Nidhogger. It's a giant serpent.
Oh, I know, the world serpent.
Yeah, or
I
something like
learned that from God of War.
That's a little bit. Yeah. Oh yeah. God of War. God of War has some of the monsters.
Yeah, the world serpent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's there's Adge. Okay. No, then it's Adra Hominir.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Or are Herae's Vulgar.
You're making the Norse people proud right now.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just giant mythical beasts, like everything you would see on have you played what's that one game with the Norse? It was very popular. We played it a bit ago.
We did?
Valheim.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep, Valheim.
Like something like that. I think for my perspective on this question is to add a culture
Of Norse.
of like a Norse culture. Like because you played God of War. And
Yeah.
there's like a lot of Norse mythical beings.
Mm-hmm. Are
Like
incredibly
Valheim.
powerful. Yep.
Yeah, like Valheim, they have their own depiction of gods. But no, in Valheim, you're just some poor Viking who can beat these guys down. So it still keeps true to a D&D lore or a D&D power scale, but you have like a mythical deer that's really strong, or a tree god that would kill everybody, or a giant troll with a giant hammer.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. I want Norse stuff because I've been really into Norse stuff because I've been looking at God of War because I kind of want to play God of War.
Which you should, because it's on Steam, by the way. The first one
Yes,
is, and the
'cause-
second one's coming out later this year. So yeah, you should.
All right, I'm playing God of War.
Looks like
now.
he's playing God of War.
This question leveraged into me playing God of War now.
There you go.
Kratos. Come on, Kratos.
just Kratos. No big deal.
He's a god.
That's
Which
literal
God of War?
God of War.
I'd say, is it from the new Kratos God of War games or the original God of War Kratos?
Hmm. Good question.
Ah.
So, older ones. Some of the older ones. So, Kratos
Cheetos.
comes here through a portal that will be explained in 5 more games after. Then
Guys,
No.
what? Anyway, this boss battle is actually a special boss battle that you can randomly find in a corner of a map that you might or may not explore in Act 1. And over time, this boss battle takes place over all 3 acts. So for the first act, you can fight him at his weakest. This is like it's like prequel Kratos where he's still broken. But the way to beat him is this very specific spell of your companion, Gale. Gale has a hold, the hold person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I should cast that on Kratos. And that holds him off for the first act. But in order to do it, you had to get him to 100 HP or less. And in Act 1, he has a total of 10 million. I'm just joking.
No.
Dang.
Oh my god.
I'm just joking.
This is balanced.
You just want to make
What?
him super OP
This-
at this point?
This is lore accurate.
This is lore accurate.
He has a total of, let's see, 300 HP. And then it gets doubled over the course of each act. So in the end, it's 900.
Goodness,
And by the end, if you defeat him,
you win.
you get his weapons.
Oh god.
Mhm.
Beautiful. It's a barbarian
Oh,
weapon.
And-
okay.
And this weapon, this specific weapon, is the only weapon in the game, but that yes, the barbarian fighter specialize in. But you can actually use this weapon in a new game
Oh,
from the start.
yes. I would like that. Sounds awesome.
Thank you. Next.
All right, Tailman.
Gosh. Oh man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still thinking. God, I'm struggling. I don't know who to just put in Baldur's Gate.
You gonna pull something out of your butt?
Not-
Or,
You said a god or boss.
yeah.
I don't-
God, boss.
I can't think of anyone that would. At the moment, I don't know. The first thing that's coming to my mind is Dead Space.
Okay.
Isaac Clarke.
Isaac That dude is pretty OP if you think about it. I was thinking either Isaac Clarke or that end boss of Dead Space 1.
Hive Mind. Hive Mind.
Yeah, the one that
Oh.
you have to you have to shoot the glowy bits and all that. I don't know how that would translate into Baldur's Gate too well, because I know in the game that the end boss drags you around, and there's some certain times when you got to hit it before he kills you in time. I could definitely see the Dead Space 1 boss being a thing, like a super, not secret, but like one of those random encounters you can get if you're exploring, like, I don't know, the bogs, I'm guessing, or maybe the Underdark. I don't know. It attacks you, and you have to kill it within a certain amount of tries, otherwise you lose that character for good to the thing. And if you find your character, you can put them out of their misery by killing them, but you're never gonna get that character back as a losing condition. So it's like really risky,
Now if I reload.
No, the game. Yeah, if you decide to go that route, sure. But yeah, no, it'd be cool to have a boss like that. I think the boss, if you fail your thing, you lose that character save or something, or that character, and you got to use another one or something like that. Or that's all I can think of. Yeah, sorry.
All right. It's okay. It's okay, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, next.
All right. So this one is I recall in Baldur's Gate, if you guys remember this, it's located in the Underdark, and there was a short segment where you had to cross to the Adamantine Forge using a boat. There was like a little mini boss fight on a boat. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, that was a really cool idea, because I was like, it was very different from the rest of the game. Like, you're actually fighting on a vessel. So I was like, man, I want to see what can we do with the boat. So then I thought of, I don't know why, I went straight to SpongeBob, and I thought the Flying Dutchman. So that's what we're gonna roll with. That green Flying Dutchman from SpongeBob.
I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah. Of course, you can make him look more Baldur's Gate-ish in his design. But I was thinking SpongeBob, and there was that one episode where he had a very special sock that he felt that was very near and dear to him, that he always wanted to protect. He had his special sock. He couldn't eat food without his sock. So in how you would battle him is, you just be traversing the sea in Baldur's Gate, because we haven't really done any like sea travel. And then, you see the Flying Dutchman and his ghostly pirate ship. And then I think it'd be cool if they somehow implemented, like ship mechanics, like being able to load cannonballs and firing them at the Flying Dutchman ship just to damage them, and then get to the next phase as you get closer and closer before you board. Really cool. Yeah, I thought it'd be pretty sick. And then, of course, the Flying Dutchman, he is invulnerable. He uses a lot of like ailment attacks. But in order to quote unquote defeat him or make him vulnerable, is you have to steal his special sock located in the captain quarters. So you have to fight on your ship, fight and get to his ship, and get to the captain's quarters. And I think it would be really nice, because with how ships are designed, especially really large vessels, there'd be a lot of focus on verticality in the fight, like different levels and layers, which Baldur's Gate didn't really have a whole lot of like fights that specialize specifically in verticality, and I think it'd be pretty cool. So it would satisfy the need of, having actual like vessels you can fight on, experimenting with moving or areas and stages that actually move live, and throw a ghost pirate from SpongeBob, and you have a really cool boss fight sequence. Amen. That's what I thought of. Okay. What about you, Meat?
Yeah, I like that one.
Thank you.
So this one is it would be a character that's already in the game, but I really would have liked to see it as a boss fight.
Blackith.
Actually, that's a good one. I thought of the Strange Ox. Now you can fight the Strange Ox in the game, but it is very not very memorable.
Oh,
but
damn.
What I would have liked to see would be the Strange Ox as a boss. So it would have this really cool gimmick where the Strange Ox would teleport you into an alternate reality. And this alternate reality would be, the floor would be covered in blood and guts and skeletons of where the Strange Ox is and encountered other adventurers like you. And in this alternate reality, you have to fight doppelgangers of your friends or companions. And once you've defeated those doppelgangers, then you would teleport back to reality and fight the Strange Ox again. And the Strange Ox, every 2 turns, it would be able to use this devastating attack where it can charge one of your party members and charge them into a wall and make them go prone.
Nice.
Upon defeating the Ox will drop a scroll that gives you the ability to learn any blue rarity scroll of your choice to use once per long rest as an action.
Dang.
Yeah, that's it. Next.
Makes sense. Actually incorporating the rules of the game. I like it.
Yeah, you got to.
So, everyone remembers the fights against the rats, don't we? Like the waves upon waves of rats.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured let's go for a non-copyright infringing thing, and we all remember Kevin from the hit game Plague Tale, don't we?
Yeah.
Game?
Yes. Yes.
We're going to take Kevin and put him into Baldur's Gate 3, and he has the same abilities he has from the game where he can control the rats. And what you have to do is not only fight the rats, but you have to fight someone who can bring in tidal waves and tidal waves of rats, and you have to brutally murder this small child.
That actually fits very well.
Yeah, because you've got mind control stuff from Baldur's Gate, the ability to read minds, the parasite, all that kind of thing. So why not give someone the ability to mind control the rats, and you have to fight him? And I don't know. I hadn't thought of a reward. Maybe you can then
Rat cape.
have the ability.
Rat cape.
You get the rat spell or something where you can then once per long rest summon a swarm of rats who fight for you and do rat-related things like steal things and eat cheese and
I like that.
stuff rats do.
Well, whatever rats do. That concludes this episode of Video Game Book Club. Thank you for tuning in. And if you'd like to join Video Game Book Club Discord, play and discuss video games alongside us and the community, the link in the description box below. With that said, take care, have a good one, and we'll catch you one day. Say goodbye, everyone.
All right. See you later. See you on the next one.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Farewell.
Goodbye. Dun, dun, dun.
Bye! Exclamation mark.
Until next time.
Until next time. All right. Take care, everybody.